Hi everybody, welcome back to IndyCar on Friday the 3rd of August. This morning I tried a little experiment with the help of my technical assistant last night, my eldest son, who decided to try and see if monetizing this program would work, and also to see if viewers would want it that way. The idea of this was really so that nobody would have to crowdfund the show anymore, where it would be paid for by short adverts just before and after the broadcast. The general reaction though so far has not been good, and actually, to be fair, I wasn't really expecting it to be good. People hate adverts, I hate adverts as well, but we thought we'd try this and see what people thought of it. But generally speaking, I think with one or two exceptions, people are not particularly turned on with the idea of advertising on anything really, particularly not this show. So I don't think that's going to fly, so we're not going to do the adverts. Just wanted to test you out and see what you thought of it. Anyway, to more important matters today, and the Bank of England's director, Mark Carney, who's been warning in the past 2 days that a chaotic no-deal Brexit, where the UK leaves the European Union on the 31st of October without having organised an exit agreement, in other words, paying our bills and separating smoothly and having a 21-month easing in period. If we do go out without a deal, as Boris Johnson has been threatening to do, then the currency, the UK pound sterling, would plunge by about 25%. Now, since Boris Johnson became Prime Minister, in fact since Mrs May announced her resignation, the pound slid rather vertically downwards almost as soon as he became Prime Minister, and it's been edging down further and further since then. It's currently worth somewhere just above $1.20 and is changing hands in Europe for under €1. Now, if Carney is correct and this does happen and there is a no-deal Brexit, then it's been proved that, first of all, the currency, the UK pound, would end up worth somewhere in the region of 92 cents, US cents. 92 cents, that's all it would be worth. You could paper your walls with the stuff, it would be worthless. So the question is, why? Why would anybody want to do that? Why would anyone want the UK pound weakened so far? And I think the only people who would really benefit from this are the United States of America. Weakening the UK currency would strengthen the dollar dramatically. It might even get to the point where the US dollar would have to be adopted by the United Kingdom because the UK currency had collapsed. And if the UK currency does collapse, then we'll end up using something like dollar pounds. Basically, we'll be using dollars because we're an oil producing country, and we will be buying services from the United States, and the United States will be running our health services and so on and so on. And it's beginning to look almost as if this is the plan all along. Steve Bannon, who was the man who bankrolled and masterminded Trump's election campaign successfully, Steve Bannon has said, and come out quite straightforwardly and said, that what's happening in the UK at the moment is nothing as to what's yet to come. The chaos and the confusion that is about to descend on the United Kingdom is going to be far, far worse than anything we're experiencing at the moment. These are just the first ripples of it. A graphic appearing in the press today shows how a no-deal Brexit will affect the various countries of the European Union, including both the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and the United Kingdom, including Scotland, obviously, in that. And when you look at this colour-coded map, you can see that it is only the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland which are really badly affected by Brexit, to the point where each individual in both the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland stands to lose somewhere in the region of £2,500 to £3,000 per head of population due to the no-deal Brexit catastrophe. You can imagine what that's going to do to household bills. Also, Carney has warned that in a no-deal Brexit, the price of petrol will suddenly skyrocket and fuel will become extremely expensive because it's paid for in dollars, right? Oil is bought and paid for in dollars, it's traded in dollars, and America has made sure that the world trades its oil in what's known as petrodollars. That helps to give more worth to the to the United States currency and its economy. The United Kingdom, the opposite will happen. And as I say, we can end up with a pound that's worth 92 cents, having dropped from a high point of over $2.50 at its highest worth. The pound was worth $2.50 to worth less than a dollar. Unbelievable, but we live in weird times. Now, there was a big stooshy last night about the fact that a Liberal Democrat won a by-election in Wales against a Tory candidate. But the real story of the evening wasn't so much that the seat swung in favour of the Lib Dems, but by a narrow margin, was more the case about how much of the vote UKIP picked up, or rather, should I say, the Brexit Party, as it's now calling itself. The Brexit Party picked up a lot in this election. It went up by about 10%, 10 percentage points. The Tories went down by about the same amount. So you can see that really it's no longer about party politics. It's about hard no-deal Brexiters and those who oppose Brexit. There's no more party politics in the UK. It's either for Brexit or against Brexit, one or the other. And with a working majority now of just one MP, Boris Johnson is now pretty much on the brink of probably being faced with a general election, because whatever he does when he comes back from the recess now, he only has a majority of one, and if the DUP get a bit fed up and he doesn't bung them another couple of billion, they might abandon him as well. Who knows what will happen? But whatever happens, it's not going to be good. Whatever happens in Parliament, it's most likely to end up in a logjam, at loggerheads between the pro-Brexiters and the anti-Brexiters, and that will mean a hung Parliament yet again, and probably, inevitably, Boris will have to go to the country in a general election to try to get a mandate to finish the job of Brexit, if he manages that at all. His other choice is to prorogue Parliament, to basically shut it down early and prevent MPs from voting against a no-deal Brexit, allowing his government then to finish the deed, as it were, to basically shoot the United Kingdom in the head with a no-deal Brexit and let us all suffer the consequences. And the consequences now are being revealed by leaked documents from the civil service. One in particular showed 3 slides. Presumably these are computer slides that would have been used in a presentation to other civil servants, and they claim things like on day 1 there would be chaos, there would be panic among people, there would be food riots, there would be civil unrest, there would be shortages of medicines. Then there would be chaos at the ports, there would be a clogging up at the ports, where British border guards and border agents would be in the wrong place at the wrong point. They would have to get from Calais back to England, and likewise French border cops would need to go from Dover back to Calais, and so on. And then on top of that, you would have a massive influx of elderly expatriate English European settlers who have been kicked out of their various holiday and retirement homes in Spain and other parts of Europe, and being unpleasantly forced back to England because of the stupidity of their own government. So the chaos that is about to unfold has not been of our making in Scotland, it's not been anybody's making up here, and it's beginning to unravel in all directions at once at the moment. Wales is now beginning to rebel against Brexit. The Labour Party is so weak in Wales that even it has now had to turn itself against Brexit in order to hang on to power in the Welsh Assembly. It looks as if the ante is being upped in Northern Ireland as well, with the DUP insisting that portraits of Her Majesty the Queen, which had been removed from the interior of Stormont at the request of nationalists who found them offensive, are now being put back up on the say-so of the DUP, who want to inflame passions even further and to restart the hostilities with the South. So in every direction that you look at the moment, the United Kingdom is trying desperately to shove itself apart and break apart. And all of this being forced on the Celtic nations by England, because it is primarily English voters, not all of them I know, 52% of them, but 52% of English voters are causing the breakup of the United Kingdom. Not the SNP, not Sinn Féin, not Plaid Cymru. This is the Tory party doing this. This is the Conservative Party, which is breaking up its own union to the point where their own party in Scotland is actually threatening to break away from the English Tory party and set up their own party. It's got to the point now where the whole thing is beginning to look like it was a colossal conspiracy organised by Steve Bannon. And the connections between Bannon and Farage and Boris Johnson are well documented. Bannon is a very wealthy man. He advised Nigel Farage on how to destabilise Europe, which is what he wants to have happen. Bannon and Trump want Europe weakened so that America can pick over the bones of what is left of the United Kingdom, because it will be essentially it will be a gutted United Kingdom with nothing left in it. It was the CBI and other organisations have also warned that heavy industries, what's left of them in England and Wales, will disappear in a no-deal Brexit. The car industry will be the first to go. Chemical industry will shortly follow after that, because neither the car industry nor the chemical industry in the UK have invested in any way in making themselves more competitive. And because of that, when Brexit happens and the tariffs apply to the things that they make, they will abandon the UK completely, because they will not be able to operate here at a profit. And that will end, essentially that will end centuries of the British Empire with a squeak rather than a roar. And Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales will all have to separate from England and go their own ways, because there will be nothing left of the United Kingdom worth saving. And if we remain connected to it, then we will be dragged down under the huge weight of, what is it, nearly £2 trillion worth of debt and massive deficits run up by the Conservative governments year upon year upon year, over-borrowing, under-taxing, and under-investing in industries which could have balanced their economies. It's not a good picture. From the point of view of Scotland, well, this is not the way we would have wanted to do this, but we're now in a situation where we must vote to leave the United Kingdom. It's almost certain now to end in a Brexit disaster. One way or another, we're going to be out of the European Union, or what? We don't know. Utter chaos in Westminster, utter confusion across the country, the police being deployed all over the country to make sure there's not civil unrest. We know that there are army reserves on standby as well. We know that there are contingency plans for things like drugs and food, but we don't know how long that will last, and we don't know how bad it will get. And if the currency is worth bugger all to most of us, the cost of food and fuel is going to skyrocket well out of the household budgets that we currently have. We're used to low inflation. Imagine inflation running at 10, 15 or 30%, because that's where it will go. We haven't been in this bad a situation since the 1970s. The Tory party is leading us right back into the same situation again. And this time it's being done, I believe, to benefit the United States. I can't see any other country having enough influence on people like Boris Johnson to pull off something as absolutely outrageous as this. But that's what's happening. I'll see you all later. Bye bye for now.